Well, I think we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. The computer just locked up. I've been bitching about how slow it's been all day. I need to go ahead and finish the weights though here. For those of you not aware with TrackBuddy AI, I have to explain to you after this race, the 10th. Woody Stevens, 7 furlongs at Belmont, or actually at Saratoga, Belmont Day. I'm not going to change many of the other weights. I need to get the thing in here. A couple of them, like I said, the post I lowered, and the morning line is higher than my defaults. There are 12 different weights to put on these races to help you come up with the number. I personally, going in, where did I put my phone? Around. Mess. Like 367 the best. I'm going to see what the machine spits out for me. Based on what I've come up with to analyze the race. Morning line odds, post position, weight carry, jockey 1%, trainer 1%, recent speed, average speed, class rating, win rate, earnings per start day since last race. And here come the results. We are at post. I'm going to have to really hustle here because of the machine shutting down on me. And here we go. 6 speed, my 3-horse. How about that? Oh, mama. 3, 6. So even with that 72 speed figure in the Derby, it still likes my horse. Now I really have to go 367, and it likes 365. Easy. 3-6 with 3-6. I like the 7 myself. I'm gonna. The AI is not enough for me to overcome. I'm gonna use the 5 underneath it with 7. 3-6, 3-6, 5-7, 3-6, 5-7. In the Woody Stevens, they're gonna throw them in the gate here shortly. I need to get these plays in. So 3 to win it, 11 to 1. 3-6 with 3-6, 5-7 exacta, and 3-6 with 3-6, 5-7 tries as well. 3-11 to 1, 6-4 to 5, 5-10 to 1,
Less than a minute.
7-4 to 1. And if the 7 comes back and wins the race today over the 6, I'll just tip my hat and say he was better than me. He beat me. I should probably have some sort of a saver ticket with the 7 on top of the 3 and 6, but I do not, and I will not. You can see on the screen what my TrackBuddy tells me to do here. 3, 6, 5, 9. But it weights this 3 really high. And this is the same number as it was the last. I'm surprised it's that high. Given that the 6 was just so good. But wow. 12 to 1 is just incredible value for this.
Horses have reached the starting gate. It's post time for the Woody Stevens, presented by Mohegan Sun.
I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat, and that way people can see that too. I'm not messing around here.
They're loading in the gate for the Woody Stevens, presented by Mohegan Sun.
All right, they're throwing them in. I don't know where they are on Fox.
Obliteration has taken
Oh,
up
they are
his
throwing
spot.
them in.
Here's 6 speed coming forward.
They might not be too far behind. I do have the Fox feed on the antenna.
Crude velocity.
You see me looking around like an idiot. My TVs aren't on the wall anymore. I can't see them.
Red, white, and blue. Englishman gets to break outside of crude velocity today for their rematch. Civil Liberty and Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal walks up. They're in the gate. And they're off in the the Woody
Not that far
Stevens
behind.
presented by
Taj Mahal
Mohegan
just
Sun.
loaded.
An Englishman broke like a shot. Straight to the front. Solitude Dude will try to
The
match
Englishman's
strides
going to
with
be
him.
like, catch me
And
if you can this
Stradale
time.
came away in the top flight in third. Crude Velocity is trying to get
Here
into the
comes
race
the
now.
6.
He's in between horses, 4 lengths off the lead. Taj Mahal is next. Civil Liberty is just
6
inside
speed
of
one,
him.
no part of the front
They're
today.
followed by Obliteration, 6 Speed, and Gilded Bandit at the back of the field. Solitude Dude shows the way to the half-mile pole. Dream Trip for Englishman through a half in 21 and 4/5 seconds. That was the opening quarter fraction as they passed the half-mile pole. Then it's Crude Velocity now moving up to the top pair in third. Stradale is in fourth. Obliteration along the inside is 6 lengths off the lead. Civil Liberty went by him. Another 2 back to Gilded Bandit. And here's the rematch. Englishman and Crude Velocity. Englishman went very wide. Seems like he did so on purpose. And Englishman is flying through the stretch. He's got a 5-length lead. Crude Velocity could not warm him up today. Englishman towering over the competition as Obliteration tries to get second.
Ortiz.
Englishman, what a tremendous effort to win by 6 lengths. It's a tight photo between Obliteration and Crude Velocity, then Gilded Bandit in 1:20.25 seconds for the Woody Stevens.
1:20 and 2/5. That ties the track record. That is the track record. He's broke the track record. Wow, Englishman, what an effort. We discussed this race 20 minutes ago. I thought that race might have been somewhat of a mirage. Just the way that it played. I watched it. I had Englishman that day, and Crude Velocity shit on him. And I remember thinking, if they run again, which they probably will in the Stevens, that I'll give Englishman every chance. And backing up from a mile to 7 furlongs certainly mattered as well there, no doubt. And Ortiz took him wide on purpose at the turn. And that was just an incredible trip. Oh, the 6 did get up for second. Oh, the 2 got him. 7-6-2-1. I handicapped that bad, and AI didn't help me, which I'm not blaming anybody. So it's not Track Buddy's fault there. That's my mistake. I was a little emboldened by the fact that he liked my 3 as well, but the 3 never ran a step. Happens. Seven furlongs and 120.40. That is insane. To put some context to that, Solitude Dude ran a 123 at Aqueduct back on April the 18th. A 90 speed figure. 123 was his time that day. Keeneland, 7 furlong race, maiden special weight, Civil Liberty. He ran a 122 and 2. 98 speed figure. None of the other horses have run 7 furlongs. To compare to Englishman's other 7 furlong race at Churchill to break his maiden was 121 and 1. That's a full 4 lengths behind this. 97. Speed figure is going to be well into the hundreds. I don't know exactly how high, but I'm talking like unless there's some bias that I'm missing, it has to be like a 105 or some freak number. It'll maybe even be higher than that. And that was by far the most impressive visually. impressive race we've seen all day. He was the one off at 4-1. He was the one that should have won the race at 4-5. Crude velocity runs second, 7.621. Post for the 11th, the Met Mile, now called I guess the Met Handicap. $1 million grade 1, 3-year-olds and up. It's an oddball race for Saratoga's layout. Start literally running into a turn and then all the way around. 5:32 Eastern is post. That's 1/2 hour from right now. Results of the 10th are still unofficial. I'll give you those shortly. I'm going to take a small break just for the simple fact we have a small field and it won't take as long to get through this. Let's see. 5:02 now. Maybe 15 minutes. Let's try 15 minutes. It'll take 15 minutes to handicap the race. Be perfect. We'll go over the results as well. 7-horse field. Nisos, the heavy favorite in the morning line. Journalism, the second choice. Knightsbridge, the third. I'll give you my thoughts on that race. Going in is what I used in the pick 6. The 11th is the 1, 6, and 7. It's all chalk in that order, but not with any sort of conviction. So I'm hoping that Track Buddy AI will tell me a different way or give me some conviction on one of these horses. I'm not holding my breath. It's really tough to see anybody beating those. The 2, 3, 4, 5 having a shot to win. I just can't get there. I know Brad Cox has been on the bench since his win back in the second, but you know, I don't think that if you look at Saudi Crown close enough, you'll see that he's really up against it here. He's been favored in all of his starts going back forever, never longer than 4-1. In the one start, the Pegasus Invitational last year, and he ran 5th in that race. And before that, he was 7-1 in a race that he never ran a step, the Dirt Mile, back on November the 2nd, 24th at Del Mar. Last by forever. Been a great horse since then, but class-wise, this is a significant ask, and I don't think that they're confident in him, and I'm not either. He's supposed to be the one that, if you look at it, probably has a shot. If the 3 runs back to his 2 back, if you throw out the Breeders' Cup Classic, his last 3, other than that, have been great. And John R. stays along. Obviously, he's no throwout. I just don't know. I don't know. Can't pick them all. It's a 7-horse field, and there's 3 monsters in there already. 4 if you count Antiquarian on his best day. Vibe doesn't look good enough. Rated by Merit doesn't look good enough. Although that 106 that he popped in the Discovery is impressive. And Antiquarian, as we said, Saudi Crown. All right, so I'll pull up the AI for the next race, so it's there, and then we'll run the simulation a little bit later. Race 11. Okay, the horses are there, and I'll go through the defaults and everything else. Be back in 15 minutes, and go over the 11th, the Met Mile. Okay, back. Saratoga, race 11. This is the Met Mile. $1 million grade 1, 3-year-olds and up. 7 in the field. Nisos, the one horse, favorite at 9 to 5 in the morning. Still 9 to 5 now, no longer the favorite. I'll get to that in a minute. Bob Baffert, Flavion Pratt. This is his first start since second place finish in the Saudi Cup. He was the winner in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, the G2 Lafitte Pink High, the San Diego Handicap, and the Tropical. All 4 in California. His last defeat came on the slop at Churchill. Well, not counting the race in Saudi Arabia. On Derby Day in the slop, the Churchill Downs at 7 furlongs last year. Mind Freak got him all kinds of trouble in that race. Nisos has been favored in all of his starts since his maiden special weight win. Won the Lewis and the Hope as well, West Coast based, obviously. Saudi Crown and Rated by Merit will be your speed in here, and Nisos will be the first one to probably take a run at him. It's an oddball configuration of the track here, as you'll see it when they load them in. Kind of, it's not a full 2 turns, it's like a turn and a half. The 2 is Vibe. Luis Saez rides. First time in a G1. Has won 3 straight. Speed figures don't seem to match up in here. But he does like to come from out of it. So, see if they get something to run at. With the 2-horse Vibe is 16 to 1. Antiquarian. John R. Velasquez rides for Todd Pletcher. Throw out the Breeders' Cup Classic last year at Del Mar, where he ran 8th by 37.5, and he fits right in these races, even at a 1.25 miles. He was a winner of the Jockey Club Gold Cup at this track last August at 13 to 1. Beat Sierra Leone. Belmont Aqueduct on May the 3rd ran first by 5 3/4 in the Westchester. Beat Bishop's Bay pretty good there. So those 2 efforts and wins, including a second in the Suburban on July 4th last year, those were 3 speed races that'll fit right in and give him a chance if you throw out the Breeders' Cup Classic. He's 5 to 1 because of that. The New York people believe. Saudi Crown, the 4-horse, 10 to 1 for Brad Cox and Irad Ortiz. He has enough speed races to be consistently between 96 and 103, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those in his last 7. The Hanshin he got beat with Florent Giroux on, and the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile back in 24, he never ran a step. He's been favored in all of his last 5 races, 6 of his last 7. Today, nowhere near that. He's going to be 9 to 1 or close to it. He has never gone off at longer than 7 to 1, and that was that Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile he got beat up. I think he might be a horse that likes to beat up on those who are worse than him. Might find the waters a little too deep in here. 5 rated by Merit. That's Chad Brown. Davis, the jockey, longest shot in the field. Another horse that's never been longer than 2.3 to 1. Won 5 in a row to start his career in the Carter. He went off at 8 to 5 and got beat by 2 3/4. Ran 4th. Not a good trip. Franco was the rider there, so the switch today to Davis. With the exception of that Discovery, probably the numbers wouldn't fit. Last 2 are both monsters. Knightsbridge is 7 to 1. His Churchill Downs back on Derby Day is the beaten favorite to T.O. Elvis. I lost a bunch of money in that race. Before that, he's been the favorite in every start of his career with the exception of 2 to 1 in a Perryville G3 at Keeneland. And then back on November the 4th of 2023, his maiden special weight race, he went off at 5 to 2 and won it by 11 lengths. No bad races, really consistent as it comes. That 6th in the Churchill Downs was a bid, and he faded. He was off a 2-month layoff there. This is 5 weeks today, probably a better spot. If he runs near his especially some of the last 3 races before, the end of last year, basically from December 27th, January 24th, and February the 28th, Those are 3 G3s, and they're 3 wins by a combined 20 lengths plus. The speed figures are 105, 104, 112. Just big, big time races. If you're willing to forgive the last one, Junior Alvarado stays aboard for Billy Mott. 7-horse Journalism has been bet to the role of favorite at 8-5 now, in front of Nisos at 9-5. Michael McCarthy's horse, we all know, second in the Derby last year, wins the Preakness, second in the Belmont, wins the Haskell, second in the Pacific Classic, fourth in the Breeders' Cup Classic. First start back this year, third in the Oaklawn Handicap. Obviously in a good spot here, coming off the second off the layoff, and he's backing up to a mile. That's the only question that I have: is will he be close enough, to the front? Given that the pace will probably be pretty quick compared to what he's been seeing when running 9 and 10 furlongs. So tough to see what you'll get here. But that's a 7-horse field. We got 5 minutes to post. Let's run for the Met Mile. Let's run the Track Buddy AI and see what it tells me. I'm going to go fast. Let's go through all the factors to predict here. I'm going to set my default like I always do. There are 12 weights. And let's see where I can come up with something that maybe give me an edge. Going in, it's all favorites for me, 1, 6, 7. I don't expect that to change much. I have a real issue. I guess maybe it'll like the 3, based on how I weight this stuff sometimes. But I don't know, man. That's it's gonna have to have a short-term memory about a couple of these things. Let's see. Morning line goes up. As I say, I trust the Belmont odds maker. Post position in this race matters a lot. I think they're starting from a really weird spot. I'm going to raise it up to like 1.8. Weight carried is irrelevant. Jockey win percentage is not as important in a race like this. They're all good. Trainer percentage okay. Speed figure a little bit less important. Average speed figure probably a little bit more important. Class rating. I like class in this race because it's hard to win it from some of these that have run against less. So I'm going to raise class up a little bit from what I have. Win rate, earnings per start, day since last race, and surface preference doesn't matter to me. Okay. That gives me everything that I need to run this thing. So let's do it and see what it says. You can see all the weights on the screen if you look close enough. They go from, again, 0.0 to 5.0, and they're all within a tenth of a point. And again, once you become a member, a premium member, at Track Buddy, you can get, you can be a free member and get it for 10 races. But once you become a month, or a day. But once you become a premium member, you can save your defaults and load them up, and it'll tell you what. It'll give you a baseline of where you want to start, so that way you can have a starting number for each race, then go in race by race and change the factor weights how you believe that they should be for each race. As things stand, not surprisingly, given what I thought I might come up with, Nisos, big favorite. 4, Saudi Crown, it likes me to have second. I think it knows that I like Cox. 7, Journalism, third. 1, 4, 7, 3, 6. 5 and 2 coming in second to last and last were the only 2 things. No real shock there. Nisos at 8-5 is now the favorite again. Journalism also 8-5. I think that race is too short for him. The fact that I've got Saudi Crown second, I think I'm going to use just the 1 to win. Let's do a single here with the 1 and the Manhattan. What am I going to? So I had 3 that I liked going in. In the end, this isn't going to pay much, but I picked 3 with 1, 5, 7, and 7, 8. Maybe I'll bet it a little bit more. Let's try here. We got 1 minute to post. Nisos to win for me. No show this time. Just on top to win it. 7-horse field. And I'm gonna sit the rest of it out. Not even any exact. Part of me wants to do a little baby. I don't like the 7. I'm out. I'm completely out of it. I don't like the 4. Yeah, I'm out. Not to win the race. Those horses, I think they're good horses. I can't see them winning. The 1 horse, for me, seems like he's the best fit. and it's his first race back from Saudi Arabia. First race in America since the Lafitte Penkai, and his second race in America since, or second back in America since winning the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. At, by the way, 7-10. Now you're going to give me 3-2. Sure, I'll take it. They're going to start loading them in here any second. You can see it's a very oddball starting spot. They're going to basically have to load them, and they're going to be right into the turn. It's like the only reason they run this race at a mile is because it's always been the Met Mile, but they need to. It's the track configuration at Saratoga is not set for a mile on the dirt very, very well. Kind of like they're not supposed to be able to run a mile and a half here for some reason. That's why they don't. Okay, so I'm all set here. Nisos to win. According to Track Buddy AI, Nisos to win. It's fairly popular for me, by far more than everybody else. Some of these weights, I'm a little concerned that my numbers, the percentages are so high, but I'd be far more concerned if they were all losers. The bottom line is that, at Reef Runner back in the 9th, got me off litigation and onto Reef Runner, and Reef Runner won the race and, paid $12.40 or whatever. So clearly the AI, the Track Buddy AI has steered me onto a winner, even with a very high percentage. I thought that was almost unreasonably high. A little bit earlier. How did that Churchill Downs race go? I forgot to look and see. Cox had one in earlier at Churchill Downs. They told me about. I forgot to do anything with it. Probably gonna kick myself in the nuts. Yeah, sounds about right. Although he's 6-1 in the morning and goes off 3-2, so not stealing anything. I wouldn't bet him at that price. Yeah, 502, 502, 402, and 234. Yeah, no thanks. Romans ran second at 24-1. Exactly would have paid 55-1. Not horrible. Couldn't have had it though. All right, let's stop messing around. Go back to the spa. They're about to load them in. Big Fox has the call for you guys. I'll be watching on my first spec pro feed a few seconds ahead of you. I don't really like Frank Miramati.
Loading in the gate for the Hillendale Metropolitan Handicap.
They're firing them in. Nisos for me and nothing else here.
Nisos
Pick 3, one with 5-7 and 7-8, mostly chalky as well. Not necessarily. Commandment and Emerging Market are kind of balmy.
Winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile takes up his spot. Here's 5. Antiquarian. Saudi Crown moves forward. The last one to load is Journalism.
The Met Mile, one of the bigger races on the schedule every year. Always one of my favorites on Belmont Day. Yeah.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Hillendale Metropolitan Handicap. Antiquarian broke well, but Nisos has more natural speed and is up to take the lead. Saudi Crown is up and on the pace, and Knightsbridge is fourth, 3 lengths off Nisos. Then it's 5. Racing on the inside of Journalism, who has 5 lengths to make up, and rated by merit, is at the back of the field.
Pratt, do we really
Nisos gets pressure, plenty of company through an opening quarter that went.
I don't think I like this too good.
At 2/5 seconds,
they're not flying.
Antiquarian, aggressive, puts his head in front. Saudi Crown is second. Nisos suddenly back to third along the inside. And Knightsbridge is in the thick of it too as they head toward the half-mile pole. 3 more back to 5. Journalism yet to do his best running, has 6 to make up, and rated by merit at the back. 45-3 for the half-mile around the far turn. And Antiquarian is now confronted by Knightsbridge. And Knightsbridge cruises on by. Just behind them, Nisos. Flavien Prat has decided to take him to the outside and has to come after Knightsbridge now. Journalism has work to do. He's 5 lengths back, trying to rally as the field turns for home. Here comes Nisos on the outside of Knightsbridge, and Nisos takes the lead and pulls away. Journalism
That is excellent work. Flavian Prop, excellent work.
And Nisos is a superstar, drawing clear with authority to win the Hillendale Metropolitan.
Excellent. I'll be Baffert. Last race not so good. This one a lot better. Enjoy the rest of your day, Bob. That is a win and you're in dirt mile race. See you at Keeneland, Nisos, where you will have a chance to defend your crown. Great work by Pratt. Got him off the rail, got him on the rail, got him in the lead, had the pace fair, slowed it down, let the others take over. Start to take him to the, once they got to the turn, started to take him outside and took control at the top of the lane. Just a great trip with a horse that he knew how to rocket up his ass. 134.85. Similar to his time in the dirt mile last year. Jerry Bailey made a great point. So he could feel how fast they were going and didn't need to be up there with them, so he backed out of it. Let them beat themselves into oblivion. All right, I'd like to thank Track Buddy AI for confirming my like of the one. The fact that it was that strong on it makes me feel like it sort of confirmed the fact that it's been very useful. One of the things that I'll say about Track Buddy that's why I'm so strongly behind the product and I like working with Shay with it, is that you feed it the information that you want to, and it spits out what, you know, I guess it caters your opinion to what it thinks, but the more that you give it stuff, the more it's gonna think like you, but not all the way like you. It's gonna question and challenge some of the thoughts that you see because it's got its own mind built in, its own brain built in. One of the things that I'm fascinated by as I continue to work with it going forward is to see how it continues to adjust to what my weights are compared to what its own brain or its own thoughts are. It's very fascinating that it's that strong, it's that high on Nisos to win this race when you've got Nisos and journalism so close to each other. I personally don't dislike journalism, but I do think that and I obviously weighted the race accordingly, that I thought that the distance and the post would matter. And off of that, I'm pretty sure that it upped my weight on the win probability here for Nisos up. You could see 95.5% seems absurd. There's no way that the implied price on him is less than 1 to 10. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But the way that it played itself out, and then again, that'll work itself out as I continue to give it more information. So far, I've only fed it races on Preakness Day and today. So we're talking a total of 15 races or so most. I mean, this is something that it'll work itself going forward. And the best thing about Track Buddy that I think will be great in the long run is if you're a horse. Remember, this isn't built for professionals or built for, you know, the CAW people. This is built for like the barstool people, the frat bros, the guys that want to go and drink beer and look at chicks and talk to people and hang out. All you got to do, instead of sitting there 3 hours before and handicapping the races at night. Now, last night for me, I spent about an hour, but I knew I was going to have Track Buddy to help me today. Say, okay, I've done my work. I've done the preliminary work. Let's see what Track Buddy tells me to do, and then let's sort of combine the two. You could do that if you like horses and you like handicapping, or if you're going to go to the track to drink beer and hang out, which, trust me, it's a great place to do those things. There's a lot of talent there at all times, by the way. I mean, there's girls are dressed up in, you know, their Sunday best a lot of times. And, you know, if you want to spend your time talking to them and not so much worrying about handicapping, that's what Track Buddy's there for. I mean, basically give it whatever information you want, or you don't have to give it anything, and it'll tell you what it thinks. Track Buddy AI, Shay does a good job with the Twitter account. He's been tweeting out stuff all week when there's a big, strong choice that they believe without having to do any of the weights that would cost you know, the extra premium money, just the free stuff. Just fire it in there and see what it comes up with. And use it as like a crutch. You don't have to use it as your main handicapping tool, but use it as something that backs up. And of course, if you don't want to do the work and you're just out there betting to have fun, then of course use it as your only tool. You don't have to worry about spending an extra hour or two doing the handicapping on the side. There's no reason for that. You can obviously take care of it. Just letting Track Buddy do its own thing. So that's enough of the solicitation for the time being. We have the Metropolitan Miles won by Nisos. It still is unofficial. I don't know what's taking us long to count the betting up there. It's not like it's any different. I realize there's more today, but grade the race. Make it official. Let me see what I make off Nisos to win. 12th race is the Manhattan. The 1.5 miles on turf, although this year, because of the configuration of the Mellon turf course, this was the third year in a row, I guess, they've run this race at 1 mile and 3/16, just because they can't start it on the turn. Yeah, basically starts at the top of the stretch, and then they'll go 2 turns. The field will have 9, and there are no scratches going in. Post time for that race, 6:11 Eastern time. That is in 28 minutes. I will stick with you from now until then for that, and then I'll take a little brief break before the Belmont, and then we'll handicap the last race together before I call it a night and turn on the Knights as they host Carolina, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. That's a little after 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the Track Buddy for race 12. Let's go to the live updates. There are no scratches. The manual scratch override has to be in play today. They've had an issue with getting the scratches in this morning. The devs did a good job of giving us the ability to go in here and manually scratch anybody. It's not happened. There are no other live updates. There are no weight changes or jockey changes in this race, so it's ready to go. I'm gonna, I guess, so I really want to go do this yet? No, I'm gonna actually handicap the race first, and then we'll talk about the let's get the optimized weights, and then we'll talk about the field in a bit, and then we'll weight the race. We'll discuss everything. This is again 1 mile and 3/16. The Manhattan, $1 million, 4-year-olds and up, on the grass. Monster race, always has been. Pretty fascinating. I don't know how many of them have a chance to win, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, 9 of them are in the field. Let's get you up to speed on what's happening elsewhere in the world of sports today. There's a lot going on. Girls basketball, a few of these League Cup games. Minnesota wins by 20 over Seattle. They get the money. Game stays under the total. Las Vegas 84-79 over Golden State. They cover all numbers, and the total stays under as well. Baseball, the Cardinals rallied to beat the Reds 6-5 in St. Louis. Cubs 3-2 over Frisco to win another home game for about only the second time in a month. Seattle's 4-0 winner at Detroit earlier today. Miller over Montano, and Avila beats Ryan KC 3-2 in Minneapolis. Other games going on. Atlanta leads Pittsburgh 6-3 in the 6th. Washington, Arizona 3-1 top 7. Senators lead that one. Baltimore trails Toronto 6-4 top 9. Houston 7-2 in the 5th over at Oakland. And the White Sox are up 6-1 in the 5th. There was a pitching change. Isert for the White Sox going at Painter for Philly. 3-0 Marlins over McClanahan and Devil Rays in the bottom of the 6th. Later on, Milwaukee Mizorowski is at Colorado Agnos. See how Mizorowski handles Coors Field. Brewers a big favorite, 275-ish, give or take. 10.5 flattish the total. Mets are in San Diego again. McLean at Canning. clean, laying $1.20 to 25, 7.5 flat. Boston is at the Yankees in about 7:35. Suarez and Warren there. Yankees between 15 and 20, 8.5 under, 8 over. Cleveland, Bybee, Texas lighter. Pick 'em all the way up to Texas, like $1.18 to $1.20. Just depends on where you shop. It's like the 110 the pick 'em was an opener. Sorry, it's been all Texas money today. 7.5 over 15. Dodgers hosting Anaheim last night. 1-0 walk-off winner by Fred Freeman. The bottom of the ninth, a home run. Kachanowicz and Yamamoto go tonight. The Dodgers laying anywhere from 340 to 360. 8.5 over 15, the total in that one. Again, the Vegas Golden Knights hosting Carolina in the hockey. Vegas a small favorite at most places. There is some opposition. FanDuel has Carolina the favorite. 5.5 over a quarter to over 30 is your consensus total. I know there's sharp people on under in both these first two games. Didn't work out too good. First game, probably the wrong side. Second game, horrific beat. It happens. It's life. It's football. It's hockey. Series price Knights are a small favorite. Sorry, Carolina's a small favorite, $1.30 to $1.40, give or take, depending on where you shop. There are some that are cheaper than that in town as well. Which leads to me to believe that's more Vegas money oriented. CFL, Edmonton, Ottawa, and Ottawa at home laying 2.5, 3, and 51.5. And there's all kinds of soccer that went on earlier today. I'll get you up to speed on that here in just a couple minutes and make sure I'm not missing anything important right now. We got a decent severe weather outbreak today. Ryan Hall, y'all went live. There's no tornadoes, but there's thunderstorms all over the place. How many different weather centers? Let me see. State College, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Tulsa, New Orleans, Baltimore, Indianapolis, Fort Worth, Norman, Mobile. That's for flooding. So is the New Orleans and Tulsa. Wilmington, Ohio. Where is that for? West Central Ohio. Okay, that's like North Urbana. Let's see, what else? Binghamton. New Jersey? Is there a New Jersey one on there? Did I see that right? Yeah, Mount Holly. Wow. Albany State College, Binghamton again, Cleveland, Charleston. Yeah, there's all kinds of severe thunderstorms. Chasers are probably having fun out there. I saw a guy out in Nebraska last night that was chasing. He got it all right. Connor Croft. There was a storm about to drop about 5 tornadoes, and it never did. He was on top of it for all of it. None of it ever happened. 21 minutes to post. Saratoga for the 12th race. That is the Manhattan. Annually, the race that's run right before the Belmont Stakes every year. There are 9 horses going to post. Give me, actually, don't give me any time. I'm going to run over them now and take a quick break. One horse, Tis Dashing. Javier Castellano at 30 to 1 in the morning. Been bet down to 17 to 1. By the way, Niso's paid $4.94 to win, so not quite 3 to 2, but I'll take it. It was a good score. Okay, Tis Dashing. Anything to look at here? Maker's Mark Mile, last out 7th, 15 to 1 was an 11 to 1 winner in the Canadian Turf, the Grade 3 race at Gulfstream at 11 to 1. Beat Battle of Normandy in there that day. Zulu Kingdom won that Maker's Mark Mile at Keeneland. I did pretty good in that race. And the 2 others that Zulu Kingdom beat that day are in here, One Stripe and Rhetorical, and they both beat Tis Dashing, but it was a close race, 7th by 3 1/4. So by no means, are those horses have to do any worse. I mean, there's a 96 and a 97 in those races for One Stripe and Rhetorical, and Tis Dashing still got a 91, and it could have been better. He's tracked 3 wide and faded between. Tough to know. He hasn't ran since then. And again, he's 17 to 1 on the board as we speak at 20 minutes to post. 2 horse 10 to 1 test score. Franco, Graham Motion Trains. The last race was his first since January. He won the Pegasus World Club Turf Invitational. It's 7.6 to 1, so 15 to 2, a little higher. And Franco is his career best, 97 in that race. Had been favored in a couple before, but not really super impressive and never won a G1. No, take it back. Belmont Derby last year at Saratoga on July 4th, he won. Seems to be a bit up against the Turf Classic at Churchill Downs on Derby Day. Was beaten by a lot. Rhetorical thumped him. And Make Me King ran second in that race. Those are 2 rivals in here today. Test score is going to have to improve a lot. He was 12 to 1 in the morning. He's currently 10 to 1. And that tells me that he's probably not going to be good enough in here against these other ones. Make Me King again. That was his first start in the States, that Turf Classic. He went off at 8 to 1. Rhetorical got him by 3 lengths. And he basically, there's really not much to it. He's the second best. And, his 101 speed figure there was good. The Rhetorical's figure was 107. Really nothing accidental about it. That 101, by the way, fits right in here with all these. We'll get to the rest of the field here shortly. Certainly heads and shoulders better than either of the first 2. Done some okay racing over in the Middle East as well. He won one in Doha, $500,000 stakes race back on February the 14th. And have to wonder, that also ran again on the 28th at Maidan, and that Dubai Turf he ran 4th. And that was at 1 1/8. He's going to go a little further today. Don't know if he'll win it or not, given he faded kind of a little bit in that race. They keep him busy. He's ran since June the 15th of last year, which is what we're at an anniversary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be his 10th race. So certainly connections believe in keeping him going. I'm intrigued by the horse a lot. Deterministic speed, if he goes, I think will help Make Me King. Make Me King wants to come from out of it. Gonna need a pace to run at, and he's gonna have to find a way to get by Rhetorical as well, because Rhetorical is gonna be near the front. But he wants to set his own fractions, so that's gonna be the big $24,000 question in this race: is can Make Me King be benefited by a pace that Deterministic sets with Rhetorical? Irad Ortiz and Carmouche figure to link up near the front, just a matter of whether they can keep it honest or not. Obviously, Deterministic was not in that race at Churchill Downs, where Rhetorical and Make Me King beat the snot out of test score. Or I mean, out of test score. I'll figure it out. I promise. 3 horse 8 to 1 currently on the board. He also was this morning. That was my top choice going in. Gun to head. I think 5 and 7 are the best horses. I think 3 is the value. Let's do it that way. 4 integration. I didn't even make a note here. Shug McGahee, John R. Velasquez. The numbers don't look anywhere near competitive enough until you go back all the way to January of 25. He came in second in the Pegasus Turf Invitational that day. Didn't even run in that race this year. Last year, Turf Classic 7th. Manhattan, he ran second in this race last year by a head to the defending champion Deterministic, who lines up to his outside today at 4 to 1. Arlington Million, he ran 3rd at Colonial Downs. That's funny. Then in an allowance, 3rd again, and then an optional claimer wins it by a half at BAQ. Last 2 were on Lasix. Today, no. 3 times in a row he's been favored. Last out. But again, these numbers are mid-90s. The 87 in that one allowance was the only clunker, but even only a 92 last out. Don't think he's good enough. That being said, the board likes John R. Velasquez. So does New York, and the way he's ran today, I can't say I blame him too much. 12 to 1 in the morning, down to 7 to 1 now. Offers value elsewhere. Deterministic, the 5 under Carmouche and Miguel Clement. 4 to 1 currently, 7 to 2 this morning. In the morning, sorry. Defending champion here has not finished worse than 3rd in 9 turf starts has won 6. It's up to between how we're going to see the speed unfold between the 5 and the 7. And obviously the faster they run, the better it is for the 3. Carmouche, 4 for 4 on top of this horse. Each of the last 4 starts he was a winner. That goes back to Derby Day of last year when they run at Aqueduct in the G2 Fort Marcy. This is a 5-year-old, and again, a couple of wins came last year. The Manhattan this race at Saratoga, and then also in the 4-star Dave. Knows how to get it done and grinds and plods. Doesn't beat anybody to death for the most part, but should be right there. 6 bright fixture is Flavian Pratt, and he is now the favorite at 5-2 from 3-1. You got Andre Fabre, one of the best turf trainers of all time, with probably the best turf jockey in training. So a French horse comes over and immediately gets the respect of the whole board. I don't know how Track Buddy's going to tell me what to do with this race, because it doesn't have, again, it doesn't have the foreign angle then that I like. It doesn't show enough about, but it did factor in, to be fair, it did factor in class for one of the foreign horses a couple races ago that I did not handicap that. I didn't count on that. 6-speed, yeah. In the 10th, he had 6-speed on top, and 6-speed only ran 1 race in the United States, the Derby. The guy, he was the leader before he retired. So I don't know why it likes 6-speed so much, given that I did not expect that to be integrated into the handicap. I mean, there's really not much to say. He's going to come from out of it a little bit. If he wins, it's all G2 and G3 company. It's all on grass over in France. I mean, there's 1 race in Bahrain. He didn't run a step. Just depends on if he's going to like it over here or not. If the ground won't have any, it's obviously firm. I don't know if he'll like that or not. I'd be inclined to toss at 5-2, but at least on top. And I am for now, by the way. Still, I like 3, 5, and 7 coming in. Rhetorical, 107, the Turf Classic, Churchill Downs at 2-1, wins it by almost 4. Also in the Maker's Mark Mile was 3rd that day behind Zulu Kingdom and One Stripe, the horse to his outside today. Fairly consistent runner, has won 6 of his last 9, well, 6 of his 9 lifetime, 2/3 in there, and then a 4th. The Breeders' Cup Mile was 4th, by the way, last year at 3.7-1. That 107 last race was the same that Burnham Square ran, top buyer in America on the grass. Doesn't have to be up front, and if the pace is too fast from Carmouche, good chance he'll drop out a little bit. One Stripe, the 8, that's Larenga for Graham Motion. Let's see. 1 second, sorry about that. This One Stripe has run a couple races last year. He was in the Breeders' Cup Mile. He got beat by a million, but the last 3 races, an optional claimer where he was a winner, and then he lost a neck and then 3/4 of a length in 2 G1s. That turf race, the Pegasus in Florida, he was 2nd at 4.3-1, and almost 10-1 in the Maker's Mark. He ran 2nd behind Zulu Kingdom. So pretty impressive effort for the 5-year-old from South Africa. Obviously can compete, but the numbers seem a little light to have a chance to win. He's 10-1. They don't get a lot of support for him down from the 6th door in the morning. The 9-horse Battle of Normandy is 16-1, down from 20-1, only slightly. Still the 2nd longest shot on the board behind the 1 Tis Dashing. I don't think he can win this at his best. McGahee has been running good lately. He's got 2 in the race. River City at G3 at Churchill back on November the 9th at 24 was his last win. He only ran 1 race last year. Not a good one in that Pegasus Invitational 11th, but only by 5 1/4. It was a close race. Then he sat the rest of the year out. This is his first G1 since then. Again, he's knocked heads against a lot of good horses as the 6-year-old has in his career, but will he be good enough here? I don't know. Probably not to win it. Anyways, 10 minutes to post for race 12. Let's run the Track Buddy AI, and then I'm going to take a quick break before the race. So we got 9 runners. I'm going to weight this real fast. Let's go throw up the odd screen template to give me the Track Buddy. All right, perfect. All right. Okay, so let's make sure the conditions are all handled here. 1 3/16. So that's the start is all the way at the top of the lane before they go into the first turn for the first time. So we've established the morning line odds are more important in New York than they were in Baltimore. So I need to reset my default instead of having to do this every race. But whatever. Okay. Post position. In this race, I think it's more important even with, well, it's 9-horse field. It can't be that important. But it's not important. It's the greatest stakes. I'm going to raise it a little bit. The weight carried. No, this isn't really a handicap per se. Nobody's got way the worst of it by anything. It's all within a couple, 3 pounds of each other. And the horses that are at 120 probably can't win. Jockey win percentage is important, but not life or death here. Trainer win percentage is important, but not life or death either. I'm going to leave it alone. Speed figure recent. If I don't change that, I almost think it'll be for sure like Make Me King. I'm going to lower it just a little bit. I don't want it to have too much of a bias towards my 3. So let's lower it just a touch. Perfect. Average speed figure, I'm going to raise it just a touch. Class rating, this is a tough one because it matters, but I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to actually leave it right where it is, but I almost want to go down a little bit. Win rate doesn't matter, not so much. It always matters, but day since last race, I don't know. Surface preference, that doesn't matter much, not for a grade 1. They're all running on the grass. Okay, let's fire it out and see what it spits out. Again, I like 3, 5, and 7 going in. The 6 is the favorite. Let's see what it says. All 12 factors are being weighted in based on what I fed it. It's going to come up with a number here very shortly. We are at 7 minutes to post. Before the Manhattan, it'll be our last grass race. Well, on this grass, they do an inner turf race the 14th, which will be about an hour after the Belmont. As things stand, I'm going to take just a brief break after we go to the payoffs on the 12th. And obviously we'll have time to go over the full field in the 13th, which is the Belmont at Saratoga. 9 horses in there. Everybody has strong opinions. I do myself. We'll go over all 9 horses. I'll go over what I think from my own opinion, and then I'm going to feed in the data to Track Buddy. I'm going to see what he gives me. It's going to help me finalize my card. And after that, we'll go over when the Belmont goes final, which will be probably at about 7:15 Eastern. I'll go over the 14th and last race through Track Buddy only. I purposely went out of my way to basically do no handicapping. I know that Mike Beer from the Racing Form likes the 4, Ortiz's horse at 12-1, and the Cox people are running the 8 horse. They seem to like him. El Najad in the last, so those are the 2 that I circled for myself, 4, 8. Let's see if I put in the weights, what Track Buddy tells me, and then we'll call it sometime around 7:30. That'll be the end of the night here. So I'll be with you for the next little bit, right around 90 minutes, give or take, with just a small break coming before the Belmont. It's crazy. I know it's at Saratoga, and I always call it the Belmont all day. I keep waiting for myself to slip up and call it the Saratoga. Uh-oh, what's going on with the spin cycle on the feed? I'm getting nervous. I may have to reload the feed. I might do that just to be safe. Oh, okay, I don't know. I'm getting nervous. Don't do that to me. Okay, so it spit out the winners. Let's hopefully the winners. Let's see what it gives me here. Did it not do it? What am I missing here? Why aren't they there? Something happened. It reset. I'll have to do it again. This sucks. And I just did all the weights that I wanted to. So I have to redo all this. Okay, no problem. I remember what they were. This has to go up a little bit. Post position matters a little bit more than usual. The weight carried is irrelevant. The jockey win percentages is important. Trainer win percentage not the same. Recent speed figure down. Average speed figure up. Class rating about the same. Win rate irrelevant. Earnings per start. That's tied into class. Days since last race, not that important. The problem is with some of these weights is that the bot, or as Shay and their team has programmed the bot, has a different opinion about how important that is. Some people think days since last race matters more than others. You'll see trainers that refuse to run off less than 5 weeks. Belmont didn't run in the Preakness after he won the Derby last year because he wasn't going to run his horse off of 2 weeks. That's me, I'm still running the horse off of 2 weeks. If I run second in the Derby, run a good race, I'm going to run him back in the Preakness. But trainers, a lot of them nowadays, they have their own ways, and they think that so, like I said, for them it matters. Anyways, here it goes again. All the percentages and weights that I had to analyze the race. Let's see what it spits out for us. It'll help me determine what we're going to try to play as we get closer to post. Again, $49 a month for premium, $4.90 for the year. So buy 10 months, get the other 2 for free. Everything's unlimited that way. I think that you're onto something. If you're going to go to the track, make it worth your while. Give it a look. Obviously, you can do this for free as well, but only 10 per month in terms of AI analysis, or 10 per day, and then 10 write-ups or 10 discussions per month about why. Turf route, allowance stakes, it's telling me the recent speed figure, class rating, and average speed figure matter for those numbers. And so I have the speed figure too high according to that. The class rating, I got it a little bit too high. Average speed figure, I got it a little bit. It's funny because I use all these things fairly low for the most part. Now it's telling me these numbers are, now it's going to try to have me apply it too. Watch simulation. I don't want to watch the simulation. It's got rhetorical on top, but not by any sort of dominating percentage. And then make me king, which is what I thought, and then bright picture. So the 6 who I did not like is in there. Even, he's the favorite, that helps too. And then the 5 for 4. So I like 3, 5, 7, and it's telling me Track Buddy 7, 3, 6, 5. I have to take Track Buddy at its face based on that effort by rhetorical the last out. I'm not surprised. That 107 is such a big number that the only thing that would concern me today would be the bounce. At Saratoga, he's 3-0 in 1 and 4 starts. I'm talking myself into trying to decide how to play this. I realize the 8 beat him in that Maker's Mark. He's steady, but rhetorical found another gear the last time. So let's try it the AI way. 7 and 3 with 7, 3, 5, 6. 7, 3 on top of 7, 3, 5, 6. And in the win pool, the 7 is 3-1 and the 3 is 8-1. In my mind, the money value play, even though it's telling me, Track Buddy's telling me 3-1 offers value, and I need to get a lot better than 8-1's value too. Yeah, 27%, that's value. I should bet them both. It's what it says. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm out on that. I'm going to use the 3. Make me king, counting on the 5 and 7 to give each other a run, and maybe the 3 picks up the pieces. So again, you don't have to let Track Buddy do all the work if you do your own. If you don't want to do any of the work, Track Buddy does it for you. You can put all the weights in. You can figure out your opinions before handicapping the race at all and never have to touch the race. And in this case, if I did that, I would just put in the 7 to win, and 7, 3, 6, 5 in some sort of a form, or 7, 3, 6 in some sort of form of exactas and tries. As things stand, better hurry. Decide to use my own opinion, where I handicap the 3 on top with 5, 7. I'm going to put I'm going to use the 7 as it tells me to because it likes 7-3. But I'm going to use 7-3 on top of 7-3-5-6. So a blend of my own opinion of the 3 on top and their opinion of the 7 on top. Remember, he likes the 3 to come in second. So I'm not like doing anything wrong with the exception of saying I'd rather have the 3 to win at the price. Okay, all set there. What's the other one? 7-3 over 7-3-5-6. Okay, trifecta. The Fox feed's only behind about 6 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, which is pretty good. Usually that first bet feed is showing the track simulcast from Naira does a pretty good job of staying on top of all that. Okay, I'm going to step out. I'm going to leave the screen on just the way that it is. You see the handicap. For me, it's 7-3 with 7-3-5-6, 7-3-5-6, and exact as it tries. 3 horse to win. The 7 horse beats me. Then I'll tip my cat to track AI and say, you got me. Race is going to go in about, they're throwing him in the gate in about 2 minutes. I'll be right back before then. Hang tight. Now they're throwing him in the gate right now.
Bright pictures in. Integration. Rhetorical in the barber pink. One Stripe. And Battle of Normandy. They're in the game. Acting up is Rhetorical. And they're off in the Resorts World Casino, Manhattan. Test score broke alertly, and so too Rhetorical. And Rhetorical Keen goes right to the front. Make Me King will match strides with him. And Deterministic just off the pace, but he wants to get right after Rhetorical with a lap to go. So it is Rhetorical setting the pace while well off the hedge. Deterministic and Make Me King are second and third, and they're followed by Battle of Normandy with the black cap 4 lengths off the lead. Test score is now just inside of him. Then comes Bright Picture 3 wide on the outside of Integration. Tiz Dashing is second to last, and another 2 to 1 strike. The opening quarter went in just under 23 seconds flat. And it is Rhetorical. Arad Ortiz Jr. trying to ration his speed, leading 3/4 of a length to Deterministic in second. Make Me King races in third. Battle of Normandy fourth. And the next test score 6 lengths off the pace. Followed by Tiz Dashing, who's inching up inside Bright Picture. Integrations between those two. 1 stripe at the back. 47 seconds for the half mile. And
not going fast enough. I need faster.
Taking him into the far turn with a length
not
and
slow.
a half lead. Deterministic, last year's Manhattan winner, turns up the pressure now in second through 6 furlongs in 109.4. They're moving right along.
Take that back.
Battle of
They're
Normandy
moving quick.
moves up outside of Make Me
I'll have
King.
no excuse if my 3's not going to win
1
it.
stripe is out of last and picking off horses in the yellow on the far outside. They're at the
Come
top
on,
of the
3.
stretch. It's Rhetorical and
Come on, 3.
Deterministic. Rhetorical has something.
Come on.
Deterministic's trying to get by him
Nope.
late.
Not going to have
Test
enough.
score is in third, and 1 stripe continues to close.
He's trying. Gosh damn it. Slow down.
Deterministic gradually.
Come on, 7. Get back up there.
Rhetorical. It is Deterministic and Kendrick Carmouge.
5-2-8.
Back in the Resorts World Casino, Manhattan, and that
it's a
is
track record.
5
150 and a half.
stakes in a row for Deterministic.
Track record. One 151 and 2 was the track record. He smashed the track record. Smashed it for a mile and 3/16. All right, sorry here for the delay. I got about 3 chats going on. 5287 is how it runs. 9-2 deterministic over 15-1 test score, 7-1 one stripe, and 5-2 rhetorical. So rhetorical and one stripe hit the line almost together, but once again, one stripe gets him, just like he did back in the Maker's Mark 2 back. 150. They have to double check that clock. I mean, that's like a full 2 lengths better than the track record. And that is like beyond ridiculous. I realize they don't run that many races at a mile and 3/16 on grass, but wow. It's unofficial. Carmouche wins it again. We'll have 45 minutes to the Belmont. And I actually need to catch up on some stuff. Bear with me, I'm here. I'm going to take a little bit, probably about a 15-minute break shortly, but not just yet. I'll stick around in case anybody has any questions anywhere. I'm going to also get to, let's see, Frank. What's up, Rex? Frank Lee, 4125. What's up, Frank? Sorry I didn't see this till now. Britain sends apologies for today's Derby. At least we didn't start a war with Iran. Alvin the Chipmunk. Apologies for today's Derby. Okay, let me see. Which one? Where am I at? Am I missing something here? Are there any British horses in today? Hey, you got me playing a game of Clue with myself. And the shit don't say it in the entries. Damn it. Say it over here? No. I'm not going through race by race. I can't remember any British horses in today. South African horse got there. French horse. French horse ran out. I got that part right. The other French horse that I had also ran out. So the 2 French horses, nothing. At least we didn't start a war with Iran. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, Alvin the Chipmunk. Frank Lee, 4125. All right. Anyways, what's up, y'all? Hopefully all's good. Oh, Englishman. Ha. Got it. Englishman on Derby Day. Yeah, that's the Derby. The Englishman race on Derby Day was no good. Englishman race today was very good. Had a good chat with my guy down in Costa Rica having a monster day. He likes Chief Wallaby in the Saratoga, in the Belmont. Here I did it. How about that? First time all day. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the race. Obviously, there are no scratches or changes. Let's look at the current odds of the race compared to the morning price. Give the morning odds maker some credit. There's really not many huge differences here. He did have Chief Wallaby as the second choice, and he's been bet up from 3 to 1 to 5 to 1. I got nothing here. Time form, everybody always, they never like commandment, ever. The word from the Cox barman, he's ready to roll. Let's see what happens. Okay, I got the race pulled up, and I'm going to work on the weights with Track Buddy. Let's see. Let's work backwards here. The race is at 7:04. I'll do the predictive power with all 12 weights at call it 650, and maybe a smidge before. I'll probably go have a little volume on. I like to hear New York, New York when they come onto the track. I'll need 15 minutes to handicap the race. 6:35, 6:23 right now. I'll be back in, let's call it 12 minutes. And we'll go over. No stone will be left unturned. If you have any questions you want to ask in the chats, YouTube or Twitch, feel free to do so, and I will get to them when I come back in about 10 minutes. Alvin the Chipmunk, we've laid Vitruvian Man at 40s in the UK. 20 to 1 currently. I can't see a problem with that at the price. If he runs back to the Santa Anita Derby race, I don't know. I mean, he's 47 to 1 there. Gonna need to run. He's gonna have to have a suicidal pace to run at. He's never run longer than 1 mile and 1/8. That was by far his best speed figure, and he's not even close here. I can't see. I mean, I don't know. I can't make a case for him. The 1 and the 5 both look like just rank outsiders to me. And those are the 2 longest shots on the board, so who knows? What do I know? All right, that's it. Back in a bit. Flutter firms 80 to 1. Sure, he should be. I need to stretch my legs. Here I'm bothered with Alvin. All right. Okay. Intermission. 9 minutes. All right, back at it here. I think. Wait a minute. Hold on, mutuals. Okay, phone. All right. So we are now. Boy, these machines are slower than 3 nights in jail. I had to fire up a couple of soccer games, kind of paying attention to. Obviously, you guys know that I started the sweat box last year during regular football season, and I've sort of carried it over haphazardly, if at all, during a couple of days in the NCAA tournament. I maybe did one baseball game at the start or two. Not really much since then other than Preakness Day and then today. I'll be back most likely sooner than later once I get settled in. Obviously, Phil Steele came out yesterday, and I'm having it sent to my residence in Kentucky, which is where I'll be moving in about 2 weeks. So a lot of boxes laying around here. The TVs are off the wall as I prepare for my move out of Vegas. It's not going to change any of my preseason preparations. The only thing that we know for sure is for the fourth year in a row, I will not be booking football, but I know it now rather than having to wait until the season starts. I'm aware of it, and that's why I have no problem working whatever I do with whoever I work with remotely. And Las Vegas has been real. It's been fun, but it's time for me to pack up and get into a real job that pays real money, and then keep the sports around in the background. I've never done a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 before, and I'll have more details about that down the road. Anyways, in the meantime, I've been keeping a close eye on the soccer, and I will be streaming during the World Cup, so look for lots of sweat boxes during the World Cup. I did one preview show already. You guys can find it from last night. I'll be doing the other groups, E, F, G, and H, and then I, J, K, and L. 2 separate shows. They will not be very long, half hour at tops each. Just a 30,000-foot overview from those who don't know much about the teams or the games and want to get just something to get them on the board and figure out, okay, what is this? What is the World Cup? What is international soccer? I'm going to just give you a brief preview. Then as we go into, I'm going to do another show that'll talk about my picks, my plays, my futures, Golden Boot, all that stuff sometime before next Wednesday. And then obviously starting with when the games are being played, I'm going to have a release opinion on, if not a bet on every game. Obviously, I have a free roll with people that are helping me out, and I'm not going to force anything. It's going to be a matter of whether we win or not, because ultimately that's how you guys are going to track me when it's all said and done. And I don't lose at these things. International soccer is a very beatable sport. The models don't really have much of a prayer, just based on the fact that the models are built for club play and built on how players play for each club, not for their country. There's just not enough of a sample size, and I do a really good job of reading between the lines with the international stuff, the psyches, all those things. They all matter, and obviously I've done well with this in the past and look forward to it again this year. Have had not really much of a chance to keep an eye on as many games as I wanted to today. I did watch parts of USA Germany earlier, saw a good bit of Portugal and Chile, and had some of Switzerland, Australia able to see, but I have not got to see anything yet from Panama, Bosnia, or from England and New Zealand, which I look forward to checking that out. Am impressed with Scotland beating Bolivia 4-0. Qatar and El Salvador. Qatar looks like they really are lacking a lot at this point. Cape Verde beat Bermuda. Not really sure what to make of that. Bermuda's not very good, obviously. And then currently underway, Brazil and Egypt 1-1. And that game is late in the first half. And then Venezuela and Turkey also late in the first half. 1-0. Venezuela leads the Turks. 2 other games later, Curacao, Aruba, and then Argentina, Honduras playing in College Station, Texas at Kyle Field. I have no idea how many fans are going to be at that game. ESPN Deportes has both the Brazil, Egypt, and Argentina, Honduras. So that's what's going on in sports, in addition to the Knights game tonight, which is at 8 o'clock Eastern against Carolina. They are a small favorite, 5.5, over a quarter to over 30 the total there. Tough to know what to make of that. There's one more girls basketball game that hasn't started yet, Indiana at New York, and there are 5 baseball games have not started yet, and there are also 5 that are final and 5 that are underway. 6 that are final, 4 that are underway, or between the 7th and the 9th innings. All right, so that's it for your sports desk update. Let's get back to the horsies. 13th race at Saratoga is the Belmont Stakes. $2 million Grade 1. Naira Bet's the sponsor of the race. This will be the third and final year that this race is run at 1.25 miles because of renovations at Belmont Park. Next year, it'll be back to 12 furlongs at a new Belmont Park downstate in New York. 9 horses in the field. Vitruvian Man, the one. Alvin the Chipmunk mentioned that Vitruvian Man, interesting action over in Europe with it. Can't really give him much of a case. 47-1, ran a credible third, but beaten by 9 lengths back on April the 4th in the Santa Anita Derby. Laid off since then. 2 is Power Shift. Benefits greatly, most likely, from the lack of a couple of speed horses that did not draw in. And Todd Pletcher's 2-horse is going to have to stretch out basically another furlong and a half from how far he's run before. He's never gone farther than 1 mile and 16th. That special weight race he won on Derby Day was about even money after coming in a distant 6th in the Tampa Bay Derby at Grade 3 in his second start. Chief Wallaby, the 3. Every race this horse gets support. Every race I don't understand it. Commandment beat it twice. And then Commandment probably should have beat the 3rd time until, what was that horse's name that in the Derby? The Ocelli ran both the Cox horses right into the rail. So yeah, I don't see it. I'm not sold. That 100 speed figure in the Fountain of Youth was again beaten a neck by Commandment. I never thought that he was ever going to go by him. I don't know why that they seem to think that he's better. I mean, some horses got it and some don't. This horse is the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th, the last 3. His numbers have deteriorated in the last 3. I just don't see it. I'm not there. He's 5-1 currently after being 3-1 in the morning, so the market seems to agree with me, at least at this point. We'll see how it plays itself out as we get closer to post. Now 21 minutes away. 4 horses now are favored at 9-5 Renegade. No surprise there. That's Pletcher Ortiz again. And this is the Repoli horse that was beaten in the Derby by a neck by Golden Tempo. And the race was proved all the more interesting and impressive by the fact that he was really the only horse. Well, I mean, he came from out of it too, I guess. I shouldn't even say that. But he got near it late and probably could have gotten there and got run down by another closer. And he got blasted also around the 3/16. I don't know. I mean, again, it's obviously a great horse. Another Into Mischief. And he was on the rail. The rail hasn't been Cruise the Derby winner in 40 years. His first race at Saratoga lifetime was 6.5 furlongs here last August, and he got beat up. Not even close. And then, let's see. Yeah, I must be missing something. Yeah, I mean, like I say, the face isn't going to be nearly as fast here, which means that the Power Shift sets it up properly. The Renegade should be the one that picks up the pieces, and people in New York seem to think that too. It's 9-5. That seems entirely too low for me. But good horse, no doubt. And again, he's off the right layoff. The 5 weeks from Derby to now is an ideal time frame for a lot of these horses. 5-horse Latino is 18-1 with Davis. Tough to know. In the Bluegrass, he got beat by Further Ado by 11 lengths. Just a real, obviously a free course effort by Further Ado that day. But nothing spectacular since. The Withers isn't even the greatest stakes anymore. He got beat by 11.5 that day. Back at Aqueduct in early February. Seems to be in over his head here. Chad Brown could be running this one just to, I don't know, the Three Chimneys people don't care. Who's the owner? They're the ones that might care. Other than that, I don't know why. Well, they're the owners too. I don't know. I got nothing. Just taking a stab, I guess. Brown's other horse in here, the 6. Well, one of the other horses, the 6, Growth Equity. Won the Peter Pan last time out at Belmont Aqueduct on May 9th. So coming off of about a 4-week layoff for this, won it by 2 at even odds, basically, with Pratt. Gets Franco back. He won a maiden special weight with Franco at 1-10 back on March the 20th at Aqueduct. Again, I don't know. This is a big step up in class. The speed number doesn't really equate compared to some of the best. It'll take a really good effort. He's 12-1 in the morning, but I can't. I have trouble making a case for 12-1 being fair on this horse. 7 Commandment, 5-1. All the last one. This is a betting from a betting standpoint. The 4 is a 9-5 favorite, and then you've got the 3 Chief Wallaby, the 7, the 8, and the 9 Commandment, Emerging Market, and Golden Tempo are all 5-1. So second, third, fourth, and fifth choices are all the same before there's a drop off. At this point, as we get 14 minutes to post. The last 3, let's go over them. Commandment, John R. Velasquez, Brad Cox, my pick in the Derby. Won a special weight at Churchill Downs at 7 furlongs. Went to Gulfstream. Won the Mucho Macho Man by 6 3/4. Won the Fountain of Youth at the end of February by a neck. Won the Florida Derby by a nose over the Puma, Chief Wallaby in both those races. Both speed figures were over 100. The Derby was an 88, but again, off slow, 5 to 6 wide, jostled. And like I said, that doesn't even talk about the fact they got banged under the rail. He was 3 or 4 back, head of the stretch, right there in a position, and just combination of A, didn't fire, and B, got hit. Brad Cox trainee, and the people I talk to, I'm close to, they say he's as good as he can be. If he's good enough to win the race, I don't know. We'll find out. I think he is. He's my choice. And at 5-1, we'll see what the AI says to depend on how strong I go. 8 horse Emerging Market. Flavian Pratt rides for Chad Brown. In the Derby, he ran 10th, but his other 2 races before that were wins. A special weight race at Tampa, and then he went to the Fairgrounds and won the Louisiana Derby at 2-1 with Pratt. Notice that Pratt has had 4 different horses in this field. This is the one that he chooses to ride, and that includes Over Commandment. So certainly interesting and something to be considered in this spot. The Derby was just a tough race. You're always going to get that when there's 18 horses. And he is my second choice going in, and I know there's a couple of people I respect a lot that like him on top. 6-1 in the morning, 5-1 current. Golden Tempo, the winner of the Kentucky Derby. He has not run since then. Dead last, 17 lengths back in the middle of the race before he started picking off the speed that died 1 by 1. It's been a winning strategy for some. Mind That Bird was the last time that the last to first like that with the last best race buyer, and he went from Sunland. This horse went from 3rd in the Louisiana Derby, 3rd in the Risen Star, and then 23-1 in Kentucky to win the race. Mind That Bird also came in 3rd in the Belmont. I could see that happening today as the ceiling for Golden Tempo, who I believe will go down as one of the least noteworthy Derby winners. Although Cherie Duval, congratulations to her to get her first, and Jose Ortiz does stay aboard. Curious to see how fast it goes. Obviously, the faster they go today, the better chance he'll have once again today. Also, 5-1. The lines haven't changed much. I don't know if the CAWs could do much to it. I have to see how much is in the pool, which I will look at right now. Pools: 11 million in the win pool, 2 in the show, and 2 in the place, or 2, almost 3 and 2. I won't exact the pools. I got the will pay, so 6 million in the probables for the exacta so far. So a lot in there. It's going to be tough for the computers to alter things much at this point, most likely. I'm going to look. Is there weather coming into New York? That would be a shame if that's the case. Yeah, they're coming onto the track, so it's New York time. I'm going to run the report here shortly. Yeah, there's a severe thunderstorm watch. Oh man, there's a storm just to the east and to the south of Saratoga. Oh no, to the west. It's coming in right now. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully give us some time to run the race. Slow down, Storm. Oh man, this is going to be wild. There is a storm headed right to Saratoga Springs. Oh my God. Track's on the southeast side of town. Looks like it's just rain for now. Knock, knock. I don't want to try to handicap it for wet. We're running on post. I mean, they just sang New York, New York. I mean, how do you possibly think about that? I didn't give that any thought earlier. Now I got to go back and see who's run on mud before. Growth Equities won a race on that, so he's 13-1. That now becomes an option. Who did he beat? That was Peter Pan on good. All right. Without further ado, I've given you the field. As things stand, post is still 7:04, right? Yeah. So what do we got? 11 minutes. Let's run down. App.trackbuddy.ai thoughts on this race before I finalize my selections. I've told you going in, for me, it's clearly 7 and 8, and I think I would rather use underneath. I don't even really know what I'd rather use underneath. I kind of have to look at the 6 now, I guess. I feel like that's impossible, but I don't know. Let's just see what it tells me. 7, 8, and then help. Let's go to the screen here. Okay, here we go. So a couple other people who did this race, and they got the 4 on top of the 7 and the 8, but they're all different. Oh, no, 4, 7, 8 have all done this. Okay, so let's first of all fire in the default Rexy, which is what I use for Track AI the day that I set this up on Preakness Day. There are 12 weights here. I've enabled 12. It doesn't like me to use that many, but I feel like I've watched horse racing for 35 years. I got a pretty good idea of what's important and what's not. These are the default numbers that I talk about going into every race. This race is in 1.25 miles, so they're going to start it just like kind of in Louisville at the head of the stretch. You have to go all the way around time and a quarter, basically. It's a little shorter of a track, actually. It's 7 furlongs, basically, but the way that they've set it up. I know they can't run 1.5 miles. That's the only thing that sucks about it. And that's why it's not the Belmont. But for the 3rd year in a row, it's a 10 furlong race. My weights, morning line odds here at Saratoga are stronger than the guy at Pimlico, so I raised this up a little bit. 0.0 to 5.0 are the weights, and I'm roughly at a 1 for the morning line odds, or close to it. Post position 1.2. I think it needs to be a little higher than that in a 9-horse field, but not too much higher. It's because they got all this time to run into the first turn. Weight carried is irrelevant. I think they all carry 126 for this. Yes, that makes it a 0, which I don't have to turn it off. I don't think it matters. Jockey win percentage 2.4. I'm okay with that. Jockeys matter. Trainer win 2.0. I'm okay with that. Recent speed figure 3.1. That might be a little high. It's about to piss and pour at the racetrack. This rain's going to be fascinating. The speed figure, I'm going to drop it down to 2.3. Average speed figure up 2.2. Class rating, I'm going to leave it where it is for the time being. I don't know if that's right or not. 2.1. Win rate 1.4. I think is kind of irrelevant. I'm going to leave it there. Earnings per start is 1.4. It's got a lot to do with class. Don't want to overvalue either one of them. Day since last race 1.0. I don't think that's as big of a deal. Again, and everybody sees things differently. The people that model the AI are going to think about it differently than me, just like the trainers think about it than others. Belmont had a horse that won the Derby last year and didn't even run him until the Belmont waited 5 weeks. He would not run him in the Preakness because they don't. He just doesn't want to run his horses off 2 weeks. Simple as that. Doesn't matter what it's worth or whether there's a Triple Crown. Surface preference, I guess, matters a little bit here. I'm going to raise this up to like 1. I don't even know if this is for grass or dirt or if it's for the actual belt, but for the surface of, let me see. Oh, it's specific turf. It's a specific surface. So it's only dirt, turf, or synthetic. It's not actually for Saratoga. That's the other thing. I'll have to talk to Shay about the track. Certainly some tracks mean more than others. Saratoga's got a deep sandy base. Churchill Downs, horses either love or hate, generally speaking. If you see that horse has success at Churchill, they're probably going to have success in the future. If they don't, they probably won't. So the numbers have been put together and compiled here for all 12 weights. Let's see what I can get my handy dandy Track Buddy AI algorithm to spit out for me. Yep, there comes the rain, pissing and pouring. As long as it's just rain and no lightning, no big deal, right? Hopefully the track stays fast. All right, we're going to run the prediction. Let's analyze this thing. It's pissing and pouring right now, but it's just right on top of the track. It looks like it'll be gone any minute. Moving very fast. Yeah, it's almost already gone. Incredibly quick moving. But there's actually sun in the background on the other side. It says 2 minutes to post. It's not going to be. It'll be less than that. All right, so here's what it spits out. Renegade, Commandment, Golden Tempo, and Emerging Market. I'm really not a fan of Renegade, but I can't ignore the Track Buddy AI opinion. 4, 7, 9, 8. That made one thing easy. I'm heavy on 7, 8 no matter what. So let's just do 4, 7, 8. Let's just do a 4, 7, 8 exacta box. And 4, 7, 8, 9, 6. 4, 7, 8 with 9, 6, super, and try. All right, let's see here. Try. 4, 7, 8. On top, second and third with 9 and 6 underneath. That's an $18 ticket if you do it 50 cents. 36 possible combinations. Next is the super with the same exact nonsense. 4 all the way down. 7 all the way down. 8 all the way down. And then 9 and 6. Second, third, and fourth. $7.20. Okay, and they're in and they're out.
Is up on the outside of Commandment. Otinho is second to last, and Golden Tempo once again takes his place at the back of the field. Power Shift will set the tempo, leads the way into the clubhouse turn by 3/4 of a length. With Growth Equity a clear-cut second. Vitruvian Man is in third, and they are followed by Emerging Market. The opening quarter went in a very moderate 23 and 4/5 seconds. It's another 2 lengths back. Chief Wallaby is kept on the outside of Otinho. Then comes Renegade and Commandment stride for stride. And Jose Ortiz takes the Kentucky Derby winner, Golden Tempo, onto the rail. And he's 12 lengths off the pace. It's Power Shift on the inside and Growth Equity head-and-head. The half went in 48 and 1/5 seconds, coming to the half-mile pole in the Belmont Stakes, with Vitruvian Man holding his spot in third. Then it's Emerging Market, fourth and 3.5 off them. Chief Wallaby will go 3 wide outside of him. Now Renegade is called on. He's starting to make some headway. He's on the inside. Will need to find some room, but he's very much in the thick of it as Growth Equity has taken the lead in 1:12 and 1/5 seconds. Growth Equity short lead.
Come
Chief
on,
Wallaby's
Seven.
making a big move.
Come on, Seven.
Golden Tempo is coming.
Come on,
along
Seven. Go with him.
As the field
God, he got caught wide.
on the inside, Growth Equity is just in.
Come on, Johnny.
Wallaby comes to him.
Come on, Johnny.
The center of the racetrack.
Come on, Johnny.
Giant race, Renegade in between, and Golden Tempo.
Come on, Johnny. Go get him.
Tempo, Renegade.
Come on, Johnny. Get his ass.
Inside, Golden Tempo from last to first has to fend off. Command.
Come on, Johnny.
Strides. Golden
God
Tempo.
damn, he's too good
Pulls
for us.
away late. Golden Tempo.
All the
has
credit on
won
earth.
the Belmont Stakes. Commandment ran lights out in second.
He beat us. Just beat us. That's it. Nothing else to it. Got a good trip. Johnny did everything right. He got caught wide, but he had to do that because the 9 was there with him. He did everything he wanted to do. He knew he's going to have to figure out a way to knock off the 4 at some point. I didn't think the 9 would get us. Gosh, damn. Oh, shit. Well, as disappointing as it is to lose with the 7 as the bet, it's also disappointing anytime Brad gets beat like that in a Triple Crown race. He did come in on the 4. I don't think they're going to take him down. Nine Golden Tempo, 7 Commandment, 4 Renegade, 3 Chief Wallaby unofficial, 9, 7, 4, 3. I guess if you wanted to put Polish a Turd, Track Buddy AI 479, I would have hit the try if I'd have played it as a box. I chose 8 over 9, as I thought 8 was the hot horse, Chad Brown's other horse. Got it wrong. Give the 9 credit. That race was much more impressive than the one 5 weeks ago. The Derby fell apart. He was very lucky to win it. All kinds of shit happened to set it up for him. Today, the race was literally about 9 lengths behind Derby pace after the first half mile. So clearly not. He would have had to do a whole. The pace wasn't going to fall apart like that today. Clearly had to go win the race, and he did. I thought we were going to run him down in the stretch, and we never could. He was just better than we were. Not a fast time, 2:03 and change. Probably something to do with the rain that fell right before post. And we're talking within the last 3 to 4 minutes before post. a quick shower. It wasn't there for about 3 minutes, but deterministic. The St. Elias stable, winner of the last race, and same colors in this one. Phipps and St. Elias LLC. Jose Ortiz wears the same silks as Kendrick Carmouche did in the 12th. And once we get the official payouts, I'm going to wrap it up here shortly. I'm going to go ahead and go through the last race at Saratoga and then wrap this thing up and get ready for the nights. I'll also give you the prices on the tote compared to the openers before I call it a day. Hopefully you guys got something out of this and enjoyed it. Would have been a whole lot better if Cox's Commandment had won the race. He did not, alas. Seven. All the others are out. Six to one, 6-1, 8-5, 5-1. Still unofficial. I have cleared out the board of the next race. The 7-horse, Tis Trouble, is out. The 13 is drawn in for being also eligible. The other 3 enter for main track only. This race will be on the grass, so the 14, 15, and 16 are all out. That's assuming that there's not any more rain coming, which that was just really weird that it popped up right on top of the track like that. Yeah, that's it. It was just one little cell, and it didn't even have lightning, thank God. So we're lucky. I mean, there's severe thunderstorm warnings in Vermont. There's severe thunderstorms in Connecticut. There's lightning everywhere and every other storm around. I'm going to work on the weights and get this out of the way for the next race because I don't want to sit here and wait about it all night. Let's see. This is a mile on the inner turf, 120,000. 802 post. This is a 120K, non-winners a 2X. Non-winners a 1X. One mile. So the start finish. So you got several ways to go before the first turn, but not a lot. 3-year-olds and up. Never won 20K. All right. Okay. Other than maiden, claiming starter, state bred allowance. Okay. Morning line odds, obviously, I have to say that's more important here than most. Post position, I think it matters more in this race too. In our turf races, weight carried. These are all Lasix users at 126. The answer to that question is 0. Jockey win percentage. Be interesting to see if Jose Ortiz stays aboard the 13 in this race or not. He's on the 4. First call Bob. Be interesting to see if he stays there or if they jockey change that before the race. It'll obviously matter because I like that horse. The 2 horses when I was doing the work in this race. Cox likes his horse, the 8, and I respect Mike Beer's opinion, and he made a really good case for the 4. Hasn't run on turf yet, but says he's probably bred for it. Hey, there's a rainbow. I'll lower the jockey win percentage just a little bit. We know there's everybody. It's a good jockey race, regardless of who's in it. Trainer win percentage is irrelevant, kind of. They're all going to look for excuses to run here. Speed figure. How many starts? Most of these horses have pretty good experience, and they're not that great. So speed figure, let's lower it a little bit. And let's raise the average, since these are all a bunch of non-1Xs, up to a median number, close to it with the normal speed. The class matters here for sure, but it's up to the model to see how it rates the class. Some of these races get rated higher class-wise than others when they maybe shouldn't be. Win rate becomes more irrelevant because of the fact that these horses that don't win. Earnings per start, again, not that important. Days since last race, again, I don't know how important to make that. I'm not going to bother with it. Race is still unofficial for reasons I'm not aware of yet. Not stopping the connections from the winners of celebrating, however. I'm going to go ahead and run the prediction of this last race. Based on the information you guys just heard me spit out. Track Buddy AI says the results are coming in 7 seconds. $12, $5, $10, $8, and it likes 12 the best. I can't say I'm going to be too interested in that, but let's see. 12, 5, 10, 8. It's got me right at 50% on Sounds Like a Plan. Favorable areas at 22.6. Let's go over the Belmont payouts first before we go on the rest of the field for the last. Golden Tempo pays 14 to win, 732 to place, 388 to show. ENT went off at exactly 6.0 to 1. Commandment 702 to place, 408 to show. Renegade third, 252 to show. 974 the $2 exacta pays 111 and 34 cents. The 50-cent try, 51.32. So I shouldn't have kicked it in the mouth. 974 was 51.32, more than fair there, given the fact that that's what Track Buddy AI spit out. 479. If I had the stones to box it, it would have been an okay win. I don't call it the stones, the bankroll or the confidence or both, I guess is the right answer. Super for 10 cents, 9743 pays 23.79. $2 late double, 136.78, 59. The pick six, after all these bombs that came in early in the day, 657 159 comes up to 136 and 87 cents. So not much there. I think I hit 5 of 6, which now I think about it, it's kind of funny. Let me look. I know I lost the first leg, so I stopped paying attention. Yeah, lose. Oh, I lost the second one too. And win 5. No, I didn't have the 9 either. All right, so we're on the board here. 43 minutes to post for the last, which I am not going to stick around for. Total activity. The 2 was 20 to 1 in the morning, down to 11 currently. The 4, First Call Bob, was 12 and is now 7. That's the horse that I like behind the 8. 5 was 4 to 1, is now up to 7. Oh, fuck off. Cox's horse was 5 to 1 in the morning, is now 3 to 1. I thought we were supposed to be 8 to 1. Now it's 5 to 1. Okay, so we're 3 to 1. 9 was 12 to 1, now 17 to 1. The 10 was 5 and is now 8. The 9 was 9 to 2 and is now 4 to 1. Time form, early pace calls for a fast pace and my 8 to be on top of it. I guess that could happen. I hope not. In theory, the speed's not no good. Deep closer's 11 LP, so he's late pace. They don't even have the 8 contention. 12, 10, 5. And that's what Track Buddy AI says. So Track Buddy AI and Time Form are seeing things the same here. I'm going to write that down too. 12, 10, 5. So combine those two and my original thoughts of 4 and 8 mean that I've got myself in a pickle here. I'm definitely not going to throw out Cox's 8 if he's as high on this as he acted like, and they wouldn't send him up to New York. I mean, he wouldn't ship a horse up to New York for the hell of it. Let's see. So let's go 12. I mean, the 12's numbers fit. I understand, and that's the problem with me, is that I'm so numbers oriented. This class is shit. There's just too many horses in this race that aren't even that good. Unfortunately, Brad's is one of them. 2 is going to run, and he's never run a bad race. And he broke his maiden as 84, and his other 2 were okay. All right, so let's go. Let's try 8 to win and show. God, 5 to 2, kiss my ass. Words out, he must have told the world. I hope not. 8 to win and show, and then we got. I would like 3 to 1 or better on this horse. I think that I'll get it. I'd like to think they'll bet it up a little bit, hopefully. I can't ignore the fact that Time Form and Track Buddy both like the 12, so I have to use 8 and 12 on top of 8, 12, 4. $5 or 10 or 10 and 5. Help anybody? 5, 10 or 10, 5. Outrunner. 2 G3s. He ran 3rd in both. Class-wise, that's why the Track Buddy likes the 10 better. He likes the 5 too, though. Yeah, I'm out on the 5. I mean, if he beats me off the layoff, then you just pay. It's a $200,000 horse. I understand. Yeah, let's try the 10. 12, 4, 10. 8, 12, 4, 10. Okay. So that'll do it for me. I'm going to put it in the chat, and that'll be it. You guys can see it and do with it what you want. 14th race at Saratoga post is at 8:02 Eastern. 8 horse to win and show. And then exactas with 8-12 over 8-12, 410. And then tries and supers the same way. 8-12 with 8-12, 410, 8-12, 410, 8-12, 410. And if the 5 slides in there and sticks it in me, I'll just tip my cap and say you got me. But hopefully he'll at least stay out of the try. Let him come in 4th. That'll be fine with me. That's how I use Track Buddy to help myself today. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. I'm going to be back tomorrow with a sweat box. I will not advertise it because I want you to watch it on your own time. Just a half-hour preview of groups E, F, G, and H of the World Cup. A 30,000-foot overview. Just getting you on the board, kind of getting you up to speed about what's happening and seeing if you could figure out a way to concoct your way through to get some World Cup knowledge before I start dropping some winners on your ass sometime on Wednesday. I'm going to put the 14th race in the chat, and then I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to hang around for about 3 to 5 more minutes, so at the bottom of the hour. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks a lot for checking me out here on the Sweatbox. I am your host, Rex Byers, REX_BEYERS. Thank you so much. Peace and love. I'm going to leave up the probabilities in the last race according to my Track Buddy AI. And you guys can see what it tells me to do, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do in the chat. Be well.